Hey friends, it's Laura with Laura's Handmade Haven. Welcome or welcome back. I'm so glad you joined me today. We're going to be continuing on our delightful desert sew along, where we're going to be working on that great big crane block today. Now that crane has pieces in it all the way through double M. So we have a lot of cutting to do, and then we'll have a lot of sewing to do, but it's actually the biggest block in the quilt. So once we have that done, the rest of them should be smooth sailing. Let me show you a close-up of what that little crane is going to look like. So here we have the crane block right here. And it does have two plants with it too. So it's not just the crane that we're creating, but we're also creating a couple of these cute little green plants as well. Now, if you watched the cutting video, then you know that when I went to do my fabrics, I actually curated my own set. So what that means is I did not use just the 6 colors that we're going to be, that were intended to use for the pattern. I chose to grab a few more greens to make sure my plants were green in the quilt. So when you see me cutting today, you may see a few differences just with those 2 items. All right, so we are just going to head on over to the cutting table and get cutting. I may share a few tips and tricks if I think of them. Otherwise, I'll just speed up that portion of the video and we'll get right to sewing. All right, so like I said, we do have 6 different of our fat quarters or our focus fabrics to do, and then we also have a black and a background to cut. So it is quite a bit of cutting, but I know that we can handle it and we will get through it together. Now, one thing you guys may have noticed on my cutting table is I do have this little bucket, and basically this is my little trash bucket. I just set it behind my sewing machine or on the table when I'm cutting or when I'm sewing, just to throw in all those little scraps and bits that I'm getting rid of. I know that all of us have different ways that we do things. Maybe you just have a great big trash can sitting close to you. I just choose to use that little metal bucket, and it works out really well. Now my design board is off to the side today. You may not be able to see it very well, but believe me, it is there. I do have quite a bit of this fabric left over. I probably could have cut that a little smaller. I don't remember if that was the size they told me to cut it or if that's the size I just chose to cut it. So I actually split the fabric cuts between 2 boards just because there are so many of them. And the way I divided them was I put all of my A through Z on the first board and then my double letters on the second. And that way it will kind of help me when I'm looking for these pieces to put the block together. So with that cutting complete, I will head on over to the sewing machine and start sewing together our crane. Okay, so we're just going to work our way through the crane block here. We're on page 17 in the pattern guide in case you're following along or sewing along with me. The first thing we're going to do is start sewing the pieces together for the crane's head. So as you can see here, I just have the first few pieces for the crane's head to put together, just following the figure in the pattern. Now, if you have not seen my videos before, just to let you know, I am using a Juki DX7. I do have the extension table on my Juki. I have my stitch set to a straight stitch, and it's a stitch length of 2.2. I do use the Metler Silk Finish 100% cotton thread on a cone, and that is both my top and bottom thread. Now I'm just going to give these a good finger press. Instead of just taking them to the ironing board, I have just found that finger pressing is fine. I'm going to set these off to the side so I can start working on the next piece for our crane, which is actually going to be his little beak. So we do have a stitch and flip corner to get done. And then don't forget that that beak, you will be trimming it down before we sew it onto the next section. So just keep that in mind as you begin sewing this next piece together. And again, just giving these a good little finger press. Now, actually, this piece, I am going to go ahead and press it just because I want to be able to get a really good, accurate cut when I go to trim this down. So I'll press it first, and then we'll trim it down to the size that it needs to be. Now, moving on to figure 4, I'm just going to add this last piece of background fabric onto this section of the block. And then the other thing I have to do is do a bunch of stitch and flip corners for the head unit. Now, one of the corners on the head unit, one of those squares, is bigger than the others. So just keep track of that. Make sure your eyeball is in the right place, and then add that square on the appropriate corner so you have the angles correct for your crane's head. Now you're going to notice that I'm just going to swing my square around and keep doing all of the stitch and flip corners around the square. I don't cut my thread between them. I will cut it before, when I cut off the corners of the stitch and flips. There's our cute little beak. How cute is it? Yay. Okay, so we're going to start working on the plant section, which is also part of the neck unit. Just watch your angles on this. You know that I am angly challenged. I'm going to be going kind of slow on this just to make sure everything is sewn correctly. So just keep that in mind as you're working through this next unit for the crane block, that plant, it definitely has different angles. And you want to make sure that your colors and your angles are all correct. As I do like to try to work efficiently, I'm going to go ahead and sew my head unit together. And that way the little crane head and beak will be together and ready for me. Now I'm going to grab the next section for my plant and do the angle for that one as well. How cute is that little crane head? I can't wait to get him sewn together. So we're just going to trim off our stitch and flip corners for our plant and start sewing our plant together. Okay, so we're going to sew the middle of our plant section together. Okay, so now that we have our plant together, we can go ahead and start working on our crane body. There are angles for this one too, so just keep that in mind. And there are some things that you'll need to trim down. I actually had a cutting issue with mine, so all right, so now we have our first two strips together for our crane body. You'll be able to start doing some of the stitch and flip corners. Just again, follow the pattern. And the second stitch and flip corner that you're going to do for these first two sections of your crane body actually go across both of them. So make sure you have them sewn together first. But again, just follow the figures. I'm on figure 9 on page 17. It's kind of self-explanatory, but if you needed to, you could definitely read the written instructions and that may help you out. Now we do have our crane head and first plant together, so that's kind of fun. And we're going to go ahead and sew the strip onto the side to basically complete the top of the crane block, the entire head unit and neck unit. They're joined with one background strip. Now we'll add on our third crane body section. And this is the one that I did actually cut incorrectly. So you're going to notice I have an extra seam on this. Instead of recutting the entire piece, I just decided to add on the extra 1.5 inches that I was missing. So if you see that extra seam running through the machine right there, that's just a mistake that I made. And I just decided to fix it by adding a little piece of fabric on rather than cutting new pieces. So I'm kind of going back and forth, and that's just, if you've watched my videos, I kind of do that. I'm working on figure 9 and 10 at the same time. It's just the crane body and the crane legs. So I just kind of go back and forth just so I don't have to cut my thread as much. Okay, so we're going to sew the last section of the crane body onto the bottom. And this will complete the body unit. We do have a couple extra I have one stitch and flip corner to put on this that you'll see me do in just a minute. But we are going to go back to the crane feet because, again, I just don't want to have to cut my thread that often. So I'm just kind of going back and forth between the two just to be a little more efficient with my time. Okay, so I am just going to give the crane body a good little finger press. Make sure all my angles are right again. I do still have the one stitch and flip corner to put on, which I'm going to be doing on the lower right or left hand side of the body here, just to give him that last final little angle for a poofy body. And I know I've mentioned this before, but you'll see that I have washi tape on my extension table. And that's just so I don't have to mark my squares when I'm doing corner to corner. So yeah, it's really helpful to have that washi tape on your extension table just so you can line up the corners rather than marking your pieces. And I'm just going to continue putting my little crane legs together, just following figure 10 in the pattern booklet. And that is page 17. All right, so we're going to start working on the other plant that is in the crane block. It's actually a flower. So we just have a few pieces to sew together for it to get the top of it and then the leaves. So I'm going to kind of go back and forth a little bit just to sew the rest of my legs together, and then we'll start working on the flower. Okay, so we're gonna start sewing our crane together, sewing the body to the head. Oh, I'm sorry, sewing the body to the legs, not the head. And then we will sew the head to the body. And then we will have a cute little crane to press out and reveal. Now I am trying to be conscious of which way my seams are lying as I'm sewing across here, just to make sure none of them get twisted, and that way to be just a better result when I go to press it here in just a second. All right, so we're ready to press our crane block. Okay, so I am using this. I have a new toy from Cricut. I have Cricut Access, and every quarter we're allowed to have like a $10 item as a coupon code for it. So this quarter, I bought a pressing mat that's actually intended to be good for vinyl, but it said it would be good on your quilt blocks as well. So I'm just going to try that out today, and it looks like it's going to be really good. I mean, I'm getting a really smooth, nice finish on my quilt block. So I may need to go back and see if they have a larger one because I'm really kind of digging how this pressing mat is working from Cricut. All right, once we get this block pressed out, we will put it on the design wall and have a reveal. All right, so there we have it. We have our beautiful little crane block put together, and he's joined our other blocks up on the design wall. This was such a fun block to put together. Just as a couple reminders, I would just make sure you double check all of your angles to make sure all of these angles are going right. Don't forget to cut down this little beak section to what the pattern indicates, because that way you can have this really nice narrow little beak up here for our crane. These two plants turned out wonderfully. Those little leaves down here were my only little angle challenge, but it turned out wonderful, went together pretty easily, and I'm really happy with the way this quilt is coming together. Hey, until next time, I hope you find joy in all you do. Carve out some time for crafting and creating, and remember, it's always better when you make stuff up.